The Star Wars timeline is a massive one, so in today's episode of Star Wars Awareness, I will be giving the complete Star Wars timeline of every movie and show in chronological order. The timeline starts with the era of Star Wars The High Republic. Now, there's only one confirmed show to be in this era since, this era has just been introduced to Star Wars, and that is Star Wars The Acolyte. And The Acolyte takes place in the final days of the High Republic era and follows a dark side Force sensitive in the era where the Jedi are in their prime, so this could be a very interesting show. The next era is the fall of the Jedi era, and the first piece of content in this era is the first Skywalker Saga film chronologically, and that is Star Wars The Phantom Menace. In this film, political tensions begin to rise, and the stage for the Skywalker Saga is set. Next up is Star Wars Attack of the Clones, which takes place 10 years later. It follows the love story between Anakin Skywalker and Padme, as well as the beginning of the legendary Clone War. And then, of course, next up is the Clone Wars, which is, about the Clone Wars and how it impacted the people of the galaxy, whether they be Jedi, clones, Mandalorians. And the era ends with Season 7 of the Clone Wars overlapping with Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, which shows the tragic downfall of the Jedi as the Republic is reorganized into the Empire, and Anakin Skywalker finally becomes Darth Vader. The next era is the Reign of the Empire era. The first piece of content that will be taking place in this era, which actually happens right after the previous era, is Star Wars The Bad Batch, about the Clone Force 99 in the immediate aftermath of the Clone Wars as they adjust to a rapidly changing galaxy. And then there is actually one Star Wars movie that takes place in this era, and it's Solo, a Star Wars story, taking place, I think, just 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. Solo is about the adventures of a young Han Solo as he encounters Lando, Chewbacca, how he acquires the Falcon and makes the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. And that is the end of the Reign of the Empire era. The next era is the Age of Rebellion era. Now, this next piece of content, I'm not sure if it happens in the Age of Rebellion or Reign of the Empire, but it's Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. Not much is known about it yet, but we do know Obi-Wan Kenobi will be facing off with Darth Vader yet again. The next piece of Star Wars content is Star Wars Rebels, as it follows the Ghost crew in their fight against the Empire. Next up is Andor, which is set 5 years before the events of Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, and follows Cassian Andor as he goes on spy missions for the Rebellion. Next up is Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. This film follows a group of rebels as they sacrifice everything to ensure the survival of the Rebellion and go on a mission to steal the Death Star plans. Next up is Star Wars: A New Hope, fourth episodic Star Wars film in chronological order that starts the journey of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia as Luke Skywalker blows up the Death Star. Next up is Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker finally face off, and Han Solo and Leia try to escape the Empire. Next up is Return of the Jedi, where Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker face off one last time. Emperor Palpatine is finally revealed, and the battle for the second Death Star begins. Next up is the New Republic era, and first off we have The Mandalorian, which follows a Mandalorian as he protects the life of a Force-sensitive child from the Empire. The other shows that will be connecting with The Mandalorian is the Book of Boba Fett and Star Wars Ahsoka. Final era is the Rise of the First Order era, which starts with Star Wars Resistance, which is about a Resistance spy who forms a resistance cell on a ship called the Colossus. Next up is Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Luke Skywalker vanishes, First Order rises, and a scavenger girl realizes she has the Force. Next up is Star Wars The Last Jedi. The Resistance is torn to pieces, but are saved at the last minute by Luke Skywalker. Kylo Ren kills Supreme Leader Snoke and takes his place. Next up is Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Emperor Palpatine reveals he's alive, and the Resistance gathers all the remaining forces to stop him. Finally, we have Star Wars Rogue Squadron, which will push the saga to new boundaries, and is set in a future era. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.